What's up, everybody? We are back on another episode of Pound for Pound. I am the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
A Shadow Line production.
Ooh, Henry, bro. Them boys look like they was in shape, bro. Yo, I just seen you. Raise that one more time. Show me one of them.
It's coming.
Show me what it is. Oh, shout out, Henry. Cejudo. They coming. But Henry, my brother, UFC 321 happened, this weekend. And not the ending that everybody wanted, Henry. Not the ending everybody wanted. And obviously, there's a lot of people that are upset. And I think even the brass, I think even the company is a little I won't say they're upset, but I think they're a little disappointed with the outcome because I think they wanted a definitive stamp on who they were going to now be pushing and promoting as the baddest man on the planet. And I feel like they didn't really get those questions answered, Henry. So you give me your take on what you felt, and then we'll go into the fight and we'll talk about that fight.
Yeah, it's well, obviously you were there, Kamaru. So if anybody kind of felt the vibe or whatnot, I mean, it'd probably be you. But outside looking in, watching it from the TV, man, Ciryl Gane did not. He was not afraid of Tom, and it looked like Tom was antsy to kind of get the finish a little bit because he's been so accustomed to finishing everybody that he was almost racing for the knockout, and he did clip Gane, but Ciryl Gane's composure was different. His movement, his composure, and the fact that he was taking chances was the difference in this fight. You know, there was that eye poked in that fight. Unfortunately, this is shit that happens. And it's the same referee that happened with me, happened with him. So it just don't take much. You know what I'm saying? Like Tom, you got to take him for his word. You know, he did get papped up. I could see why people are saying that he possibly took the easy route out because maybe to regroup. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, that eye is the eyes. I mean, fuck, dude, I'd be the first one to be hating right now, but because it's happened to me, you know, you got to give him the benefit of the doubt, dude. You know, but other than that, man, Ciryl Gane was putting in work. He had him bloody, he had him bleeding, he had him leaking, and then you know, about a minute and a half left. I mean, the fight was pretty much it was no mas. So overall, dude, the way that I see this fight, and I'm guarantee you, John Jones is licking them fingers right now, man. Right now, as of right now, Tom is a 1 round fighter, bro. Like I was curious to see him in that fifth.
I understand what you're saying, but first and foremost, let's leave the referee out of this, okay? Leave him out of this. He did nothing to cause any eye pokes in either one of the fights. So leave him out of this. But listen, it's not Tom's fault. I would say this out of the gate. It's not Tom's fault. What then transpires after the incident is, I guess, how it was handled, the back and forth. Is and the same thing with you, Henry. I think this is the one thing that you're not understanding with kind of how the fans perceive things. We know MMA fans are wishy-washy at times, and you have to see how they perceive
all
it.
The time.
It's okay, yes, all the time. But you have to see how they perceive this. First and foremost, it's not necessarily Tom's fault. The eye poke did happen. And you have to look at two aspects of it here. One, the foul, and then two, then you look at the fight. The eye poke did happen, which was, at first, it was kind of like, okay, my hands are on the eyeballs, and then you see kind of where they push in. Obviously, in that jockeying for position where Tom's coming in and Ciryl Gane is trying to create distance, there was that. It's unintentional, and that's the moment where you are warned, please keep your hands closed, or the next one should be a point, and then potential another point deduction or disqualification. So the referee did his job in that aspect. Now, Tom took some time, looked at it, and then took time, looked at it again, then I don't know whether he called it or the referee came in and they called it, or it was a doctor that called it. Only Tom knows how bad that eye injury was. Just like the same thing with you, Henry. Only you knew how bad that was and how much that hurt you in there. So we can't sit here and really be upset with Tom, because a lot of the consensus is you're being a pussy. You should have continued. You quit. Listen, my man he's the only guy in there who felt that. He's the only one who knows how bad that was. So if he felt that it was bad enough to where he could not continue, all the power to him. I don't understand why people just feel like, because we are gladiators, they just feel like you should die in there. You should go to the death. If you're not dead, you quit. You're a quitter. So let's just get rid of that aspect of it. Now, as far as the fight is concerned, Henry, I said this to you before. This will be the first time that both guys are going to be competing against somebody as dynamic as themselves. This was going to be the first time that Ciryl Gane was going to go against someone that fast, aggressive, could grapple, could wrestle, and had the power to put you out. And this was also going to be the first time Tom Aspinall was going to go up against a guy that's just as fast, that is smart, great fight IQ, and the guy that could dance, float like a butterfly across that cage, and sting like a bee across that cage. And we saw what was happening. Tom comes out like he normally does, Henry, very aggressive, landing strikes. He was landing strikes, but Ciryl Gane was taking those strikes. We saw Tom, in the beginning of a fight, Henry, in that first minute, your energy, your adrenaline's up because you're trying to figure out the pace of the fight. You're pushing, they're replying, they're coming back, and you're trying to just kind of figure out what's going on here in this fight. So that's happening, and I can see, I'm sitting right there. I can see that huffing and puffing. One guy, I think, was content to let this fight build, and the other guy wanted to end the fight the way he's accustomed to early on. And that wasn't happening. Unfortunately, we didn't see this fight progress into the later rounds, because that's when we really would have got some answers to some of the questions that everyone was asking.
Yeah, and that's my next question, Kamaru. Now, will a guy like Gane be the underdog? I don't think so, man. I think by the looks of that first round, Kamaru, bro, I'm favoring Gane in this next fight, this next rematch. I truly do, man. I'm legit switching my vote. The lateral movements what we talked about before, man. It was Gane's not afraid, bro. Fear plays a big part. It could be your best friend or your worst enemy. For Gane, he was not afraid of Tom. He was able to move in there, even take his own chance and stick him to the point where he had him bloody. The movements was a difference. Tom even tried to take a takedown. And it's the first time that he attempted a takedown and did not get a takedown. So that says a lot, dude. So I feel like the fact that Gane has gone 5 rounds, that also makes it problematic for him. He's gone there with Francis. And if he didn't take those, and if he didn't go for that knee bar or whatever, he probably could have beat Francis Ngannou. But right now, dude, the biggest question is who's the rematch? And I'm kind of favoring Gane at this point. But at the same time, watching John Jones and Alex Pereira talk about, hey, let's make the heavyweight division great again, is what Alex Pereira said. And then John Jones accepts his challenge. You know what that means, Kamaru? I think we're going to have John Jones versus Alex Pereira at the damn White House. Book it.
Well, I like that question, Henry. Would Ciryl Gane be favorite in the rematch? I don't think so, but I think the odds are now a lot closer than what people think, because you only got to see what was that fight? 3-4 minutes? You only got to see maybe 4 minutes of these guys in there. So now I believe it becomes a lot closer, because you see that it wasn't just a blistering, because Tom is averaging 2 minutes and 40 something seconds inside that octagon. It didn't go that way. It wasn't just quick, boom. So now you're going to get the odds makers start to go, ooh, this fight is a lot closer than we think. And I do think Tom still will be favored, as he should, as the defending undisputed champion, as he should be favored. But same thing I told you, Henry. Now he understands. He understands that I'm fighting somebody as dynamic. I'm fighting somebody that now I'm going to really have to rely on my fight IQ here. Now I'm going to have to rely on more than one weapon. Now I can't just come out and run over him like I run over everybody else.
Right. And then check this out too, Kamaru. Check this out too. His dad was saying about him transferring over to boxing. I mean, talk about the timing on this. Like, there's some things that you probably shouldn't say public, but obviously, I mean, dads will be dads, and they're going to say whatever it is that they want to say. And his dad was saying that, yeah, that I don't think they want to re-sign with the UFC. So that means he was on a 3-fight contract with the UFC to renegotiate. Now he's down to 2 because of this fight. I mean, he wins this fight, he defends or whatever.
Wait. The father did say they don't think they want to re-sign with the UFC?
Yep. He said they're willing to go to boxing. He said they're willing to go to boxing to make some heavyweight money. Yep. This is what I'm saying, Kamaru. It's not good business, bro, when the family starts getting involved and starts doing shit like this. The only reason why I say that is because right now, trust me, when I got poked, dude, you think they fucking believe me? You think they believe that I poked? No, they damn don't. They don't. They think I bitched out too. So that being said, man, you already have an X on your white sheet. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 more fights left. Like, bro, like think about it, bro. This is a
black sheet.
Sure. But you understand what I'm saying? Like he's in a position where his dad's saying something. He just according to maybe in their eyes, he didn't complete the mission or complete the main event. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it can get a little tricky. It can get a little tricky, Kamaru, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think I'll take this from you, Henry. I understand this. I think it's never good to win, especially when you're under contract and the job's not done here. When the job's not done here, it's never really the greatest to be talking about things on the outside, because it really hadn't worked out well. And I didn't realize there was a contract offer to renegotiate, and that was rejected because now you rub the brass the wrong way. And I feel like you feel it in a sense with the post-fight conferences, you feel it. It's a tough thing to do when you haven't finished a job here to start saying, I think we can make some more money elsewhere. Yeah. I think we can do better things here. I think we can do this.
But let me stop you real quick. Watch. Go ahead. Push play it. Right. Listen to this.
You said that you wanted a boxing champion.
Yeah, for sure.
You're okay with an MMA champion, but you wanted a boxing champion.
Boxing for sure. The money is
more money.
Yeah. More money. Why not?
Would that be an outcome for him? No.
There's 3 more fights on the contract now.
Okay.
So and I don't want to sign a new contract.
Okay.
Personally.
Woo! And I tell you what, dads
here's the thing
at that level, they fucking rule, bro. Whatever the dad says is what they do. Go back and watch Sugar Shane Mosley, all these dudes. What's up?
Well, listen, there's first and foremost, you can't control what the father says. You can't. That's a father, and he's speaking from his position and how his position of care, his position of power, and his thoughts and feelings and emotion. At the end of the day, Tom is the one who has to get in there, and Tom is the one who has to compete. So, like I was saying, it's never a good thing when the job's not finished here to start talking about that and what I'm going to do there, and what I'm not going to do here. When the job's not done here and you're already saying what you're not going to do here, it's never a great thing. One, as far as the company is concerned, that's not a great thing. And then 2, as far as Lady Luck is concerned, it's not a great thing. I dealt with that. O'Malley dealt with that. Just a plethora of fighters that have dealt with that. It's not the greatest thing. Now, as far as this contract situation, I didn't necessarily know that, but now it makes a lot more sense based on the interviews, post-fight interviews or whatnot. Listen, of course, boxing, they're protected in a way to where boxers can really rake in the dough per fight. But let's not forget what's giving you your name. Let's not forget what's giving you the exposure. And let's not forget where you are still signed. And so you're rejecting a new contract. That doesn't help your odds of potentially getting the John fight. It doesn't help your odds of potentially getting a fight that sets you to the moon to where you can eventually be in a position to say, no, I don't want to do this, or no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. But with that being said, Tom's father.
But you brought something up really, really good, because this is where people don't see this. Now, if they do end up booking that Jones fight with Tom Aspinall, you want that Jones fight? You're on a 10-fight deal now, buddy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now you just gave leverage. No, it's come on, Kush. Let's be real, because nobody wants.
Well, yes, there's leverage. Leverage in this game means a lot. It means that leverage everywhere means a lot. You know, so you're right, Henry. You know that leverage means a lot. But what I was good to wrap up my thought, what I was saying is, listen, Tom's dad is, and I had a pleasure of having we had a quick interview with him on TNT Sports. Tom's dad's extremely passionate, and he's almost very stoic. He's extremely passionate about this. I mean, this man quit his job to open a gym and to help his son live out his dream, and his son is doing that. And so it's a different passion, and it's a different feeling that he has for his son in this game. And the father also has ambitions for his son, and he has beliefs on what he thinks his son can do one day. So that's on the father's perspective. That's him. But Tom is the one that has to climb in there. Tom is the one that has to make the decision for himself, his life, his family. And so I'm not going to 100% hold Tom, because I didn't hear those words from Tom. I'm not going to hold Tom to what was said by somebody else. But as far as moving forward now, leverage has swung a little bit, because now this fight was ended the way it did. So now they will rebook the fight, because, I mean, it only makes sense to rebook it. And this fight was hot, but the rematch is on fire. That's what everybody want to see now, because for the 4 minutes or 3 minutes and something, whatever you guys saw in that fight, everyone knows now what I was saying. Ciryl Gane is the real deal. Ciryl Gane can float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Ciryl Gane has improved greatly. Not just with his striking, not just with his distance, not just with his poise, not just with his patience, but also with his wrestling and with his takedown defense. These guys did work. Ciryl Gane came out to Dubai, spent time here in the UAE, and did work. Spent time here. Yeah. So that I spoke with him a little bit before the fight, and he said, hey, I did everything I could. To go out there, compete,
but not just that, but check this out, and this is even where Tom has to be careful too. Daniel Cormier, I don't know if you saw that little clip that went viral. Daniel Cormier is telling him, "Hey man, all these dudes, some trash. Oh dude, hey man, you gonna rule. Hey bro, you gonna rule the heavyweight division, man. You got life-changing money. Can you believe the rematch that I got with Voldemir, bro? I was like, really? That was a gift." He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful.
Damn, you gonna throw your brother under the bus like that,
dude? He's just dude. Anyway, I got to, but I do the same shit he does. The only reason why I say that is because Tom's got to be careful, dude. Now he got a little bit of that humble pie for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, you know, or let's call it 4 minutes, if that. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be careful with listening to guys that probably have been there, whatever. Like, you still gotta, hey, everybody is fucking good, and I can lose at any minute. So he's gonna have to check himself, because at this point he got 4 minutes of maybe even some humbling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Where he bro. Like God papped him up a little bit.
Whoa, listen. Let's not just act like Tom was getting his ass whooped out there. Let's not do that. Tom looked fast, looked strong, looked big, he was throwing them things too. They both touched each other. It's just that Salkilld Gane looked a little more effortless.
Yeah,
they both
but
touched
anyways,
each other. Like I
come on,
said,
Dean, we could be on this shit. We could be on this shit forever, bro.
But I ain't. First of all, I ain't like how you threw my brother DC under the bus like that. I ain't like how you did that. but I will say this to wrap it up. The anticipation for this rematch is a lot bigger. You're right. The odds have gotten closer. But here, I think this pisses Tom off even more. This is more fuel to the fire.
And can I tell you something? Is that a good thing for a nice guy? He already fights you. Think about it, Kumar. Listen to what I'm going to say, and then we can move on, bro.
A nice guy? The way he was putting these people away, that's a nice guy?
Bro, he is not accustomed to the trash talking. He's not accustomed to him being the bad boy. By default, he feels that way. By default, which it wasn't his fault. Could he come back into that next fight and fight emotional? Because I saw it, bro. Like he's so accustomed to finishing people. His average time is like 2 minutes and something. Average time, Kamara, right. Like something ridiculous, dude. Now the fact that he's gone even past that, it just shows you, man, will he have that patience with somebody that could go 5 rounds? These are just questions to ask. And that's the same thing that I was saying earlier, dude.
You're right. I think this teaches him that. But here, my advice would be, hey, F them. F them. They want to say this about me. They say you quit, you this, you that. F them. If you really believe you are the baddest man on the planet and you have big aspirations for yourself, F them. Lean into that. Take a page out of Henry Cejudo's book.
Yeah, exactly.
Take a page out of Henry Cejudo's book.
Exactly.
F them.
Exactly.
Go out there.
And believe it or not, can I tell you something? I'm probably gonna send him a message on that. You know what I'm saying? I'll send him something personally. Just like, hey, dude, I know I'm John's boy, but hey, man, I gotta be able to fucking, we gotta give back Kumar in some sense. So I just hope he doesn't allow that shit to really tear him down or make him different in the fight game. I think Tom just needs to understand, bro, because we've been there a lot longer than him. This is how the MMA community is, and you got to accept it. If anything, he should probably fucking throw back.
Listen, Henry, you're right. Listen, we're gladiators. When we step in there, we are modern day gladiators. So, and as gladiators, the Caesars, the Julius Caesars, we have our egos. We have to have that ego because that ego then helps propel us. We need that. So yes, I believe this is going to hurt him a little bit. But he determines how long it does. You can just say, oh, well, I'm down for a day or 2 days. I'm a little sad, but you know what? F them. Getting back to work. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to be a lot more dynamic. I'm stronger next time, and I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do in the fight. So I love it. I can't wait for the rematch. Before we get off this, Henry, when do you think this should be a rematch? What you thinking?
I think they probably put him on our card. UFC 323.
December? In December?
Yeah.
Come on. Listen. These guys have done work.
If Aspinall's eye is okay now, why the fuck not? They don't cut weight like we do.
Did he say his eye's okay?
But that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest question. If his eye is okay and he still has the ability to train, then yeah. And I will say something about this to Tom. Like, Tom, like the next time this shit happens to you, man, like fucking, like, if he's gonna become a better fighter because of this, just close your fucking eye next time, and I think he's gonna come to that realization. No, honestly, like, you just close one eye because it's better to just fucking, if it's still in there, because that's something that I would do now that it happened to me. I'm like, all right, dude, I know what this is.
Wait. Let me go in.
Protect the lead hand or whatever eye it is.
What's your advice? Having gone through a poke,
if it happens
also
again,
ended the fight early.
Man, that fucking sucks, dude. I wanted to fight, so I was just getting started too. Yeah, it's that. Like if it was to happen again to me, I was able to see. I was just seeing too much. I was having a double vision. So there's 3 people. It wasn't just 2. It was like the guy in the middle here and then another one here. So, but it's the same shit. I can see more, but I can't see. I don't know you don't know what you're hitting at. And there's only the few people in this damn entire world that know what that feels like. And that's the person that's eventually being poked. Trust me, dude. I never thought, fuck it. I've always thought people bitched out when they got poked. It's humbling. I've learned so much, bro. And I feel like God is teaching me a lot through this because whatever it is, dude, we cannot fucking judge tomorrow. Like only he knows what that feels like. But I'm saying leading into the future now, if it happens again, close your fucking eye, that one eye, and you just gotta go because there's nothing you could do, man. There's just nothing you could do.
Well, for his defense, a lot of listen,
and Kamaru, and can I say this? The UFC, they're not happy, bro. Like they're not saying it, but they kind of, they just imagine what they threw on me. Imagine them throwing that shit on Tom. Where Dana White is say, oh, he did, yeah, he couldn't fight, he got his eye poked. Like, bro, look at my shit compared with all due respect to Aspinall. Look at the way that I got poked, and then also look at the way that he got poked. The shit went inside me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about the damage too.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Anyhow, dude, I'm being heated again because I gotta be honest. They're not fucking happy.
I know that's why they're
not happy with me, nor are they happy with the situation that happened with him.
Right.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You said it went inside you, pause. I mean, Jesus. But
wow.
Listen, it's a tough. I mean, obviously, a lot of eye injuries happen. I mean, and it sucks because some people lose their eyes from this, and then you ask them like later, is it worth it? I mean,
Korean
you never know.
zombie. Check this out, Kamaro. Korean zombie, really bad. It's to the point where he had to retire pretty much. Not from fucking fighting, from his eye. Michael Bisping lost an eye. Betch Correia, the Brazilian, bro, like there's something wrong with their vision where she's pretty much blind in one eye. Like I don't want to be. There's so many people, dude. Like I think the scariest part about mixed martial arts is your fucking eye. Forget about your neck, your shoulder, your blah blah blah. You lose an eye, bro, and that's it. And I think to me now, as I have my last fight, that's the biggest thing that I could say for any of these young cats. Careful with your eyes, man. Your visions. Like there's even a guy from our gym that pretty much lost his eye, dude. Like recently, in practice, getting a fucking toe stuck in there.
It's sad. Listen, Henry, I agree with you. It's sad, and for some of those people who have suffered eye injuries, kudos to them, the ones that continue to fight. But it's a sad situation for the ones that are unable to continue to fight. It's a tough thing. It's a dangerous sport. This is what we do. This is why we are modern day gladiators. This is what we do. So, unfortunately, it was sad. Unfortunately, that happened to Tom. But way to show up, Tom. Way to show up, Ciryl Gane. The rematch, I think, is going to be even bigger, and it's just anticipation. It just builds. This is why we love this thing. That we do. This is why we love it. This is why we love not only being fighters, but this is why we love being fans as well. Is because eventually there will be an answer, and we'll be sitting at the edge of our seats going, yes, let's see what's going to happen. So, but as far as Alex Pereira and John Jones, it only makes sense. What Alex Pereira did by saying that was perfect. He was watching the fight. He wanted to see what was going to happen, but it didn't happen. So now that kind of left the door open for himself and John Jones to really be the headliner or potential headliner at the UFC White House if Dana White is interested in letting John Jones.
Dana White's gonna go in, bro. It's gotten too much attraction. He's in, bro. He's in. Trust me on this.
Well,
trust me. That's our main event, and then your boy McGregor, Chandler. But anyway, let's get down to the co-main, Kush, because I ain't got all day either. What's up? The battle of the cakes.
Why you saying that song, Henry? What you saying?
Dude, I've already got in trouble, dude. I'm not even looking at that shit.
Yo, first and foremost.
Dude, I'm serious. Get that shit out of here, right, dude. My wife.
First and foremost, Henry. It was It was 5-round decision. It was ultra close fight. I watched it cage side, and while I was watching it cage side, I think I felt a little different than the referees, or not the referees, but the judges. I think I have to go back and watch the fight over. First and foremost, yes, Mackenzie Dern was being more aggressive. She was definitely pushing the fight. I didn't expect her to be taken down as much as she was by Jandiroba. I didn't expect that. She was taken down multiple times by Jandiroba and controlled eventually and it got easier towards the later rounds. Controlled more. Unfortunately, Jandiroba couldn't really do a lot of ground and pound. And Henry, this goes to show just kind of the confirmation that the rules have changed, Henry. A takedown really doesn't really mean much anymore. Nothing. If you don't take down and cause some serious damage, it means absolutely nothing, Henry, because Jandiroba, I felt controlled. I felt she won that fight 3-2.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Dern was more aggressive, but I thought in the later rounds, Jandiroba started landing strikes. She was landing strikes. Not only landed strikes, she was taking Mackenzie down. And I felt she might have potentially edged it out 3-2. I'm not upset with the decision, but I felt that she might have edged it out 3-2, Henry. You tell me what you thought of the fight.
Yeah, no, I actually agree with you, Kamaru. Like on TV, that's kind of what I probably had it too. But I'm not mad at the decision. I felt like Jandiroba ruined it for herself, just getting takedowns and nothing up top. I mean, let's go back and talk about the fight, the fight prior to that, Volkov and Almeida. Almeida was doing everything he could to take him down and control him, but he was afraid to strike. And I thought it was 30-27, I think. I was kind of like, oh, yeah, this is a shutout for Almeida. But that's not what the judges saw. So I was, when you watch a fight, but you're not really paying attention. But every time I was like kind of looking over, I felt like Almeida was in a better position. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So that was one of those fights. I felt like it was a snooze fest. So from a little bit from what I did see, I was like, oh, Almeida's going to get the unanimous decision. But he got on top and he didn't do nothing. Same thing with Jandiroba, dude. She did not get on top and do any damage. She lost the fight. It's not so much that Mackenzie beat her, but she was in such a better position to really inflict damage. But then she was allowing Mackenzie to come up. And I will say this about this fight: one of the judges had Mackenzie up 4-1. Like, how ridiculous is that, Kamaru? 4-1 for Mackenzie. That's when I saw that scorecard 4-1. I was like, oh, okay. So Verna did win. But no, man, that's just not the way it is, bro. Like, I don't know, man. But, Abu Dhabi's a little suspect, Kush. To be quite honest with the judges.
No. We can't say it's Abu Dhabi because those judges. We can't say Abu Dhabi because those judges are universal judges. Those judges are in Vegas a lot, so we can't say Abu Dhabi is suspect. Those were experienced judges that have been judging for a long time. I think what it needs to be too, Henry, I think is, remember, this is why Chris Lieben has now been judging fights, because you need guys like these. You need MMA fighters who have been in there, who know what it's like to be winning, who knows what it's like to be in a certain position. And if they're not advancing or they're not trying to end the fight, then that's what it is. But I had Volkov winning the fight. Like I said, I was sitting right there watching the fight. I had him winning the fight. If we go back and look at the stats for Volkov, in that first round, Volkov definitely won. Yes, he got taken down, but he kept wrestling. He wrestled up the position. He was able to get back up to his feet. He landed the bigger, more damaging strikes in that first round. He was constantly trying to advance the fight, trying to advance position, trying to finish the fight. So if we go back to total strikes, you will see that. Even when he was taken down and he was on his back, you see that. Volkov landed 123 strikes to Almeida's 27. So right there tells you who was trying to fight, who wanted to fight, who wanted to finish the fight. Even when he was on his back in that second round, Volkov was threatening. He had him in a triangle at one point. Volkov worked in every position he was in, to where I was very disappointed with Almeida. Very disappointed. I thought Jonathan Almeida was much more talented than that. This is a guy that packs a lot of. He's big. He's strong. You got to work on that striking. You can't be afraid to strike.
Yeah,
you got to work on it. And when you work on that striking, it makes those takedowns a lot easier.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty disappointed with what I saw from him, and him just wanting to wrestle. No serious ground and pound until maybe the third round. I think he threw maybe like 10 good shots on the ground. But even then, he had eaten 20 from Volkov down there on his back. So
too much without mixing it, Kamaru, is not good, bro. It's not good for you stylistically, nor is it good for you publicly. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, you imagine a lot of these dudes that are just gonna hold and do X, Y, and Z. Like, just go back to jiu-jitsu. But I'm not mad at it either. I was a little bit of surprise. I was a little bit of surprise with that one judge with Mackenzie Dern and Virna that had it 4 rounds to 1. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? How? Like, the reality is this is what we do need, and this is something that I will agree with Dana White. We do need AI judging, bro. Like, straight up, dude. AI judging would really make the biggest difference. Yeah, dude, with technology. Kamaru, with technology nowadays, bro, like, it would be able to get down to the number a little bit more, and it would only get better. I believe that regional MMA companies, if they have the ability to actually use AI to do the judging, bro, I think that's the route to go. I think that's the way that this could probably kick off, and having it get into the UFC so we could have a lot more fair judging, bro. I know it sounds weird to you, Kush, but look at what AI could do. And I do believe that AI is the next evolution and the future of
so
judging.
You're saying, so you're saying you want a computer to judge a fight based on what?
Based on everything, based on
what
time.
It sees or the numbers, because it's a computer, so it's based on the numbers or what it actually sees. What are you telling
everything?
me?
What it sees based on the numbers, control time,
exactly.
Significant
so the computer,
strike. Like, remember,
these computer is going to go on just numbers.
Kamaru, these computers now, they can detect the actual impact and the precision of where is it that they actually hit you. There's so much more, dude. The world is changing, Kush. It's changing. Or do you listen, Kamaru, or do you want the judges that are coming from fucking boxing into MMA? Because that's where it seems like shit is going.
Okay, Henry. I get that. And we just talked about that. So if we're unsure of boxing judges coming into MMA, looking through a boxing perspective lens, and also some that most that have never done the sport of mixed martial arts. That's one thing. But now you want to swing to the other end of the pendulum to not just let's train MMA fighters on what to judge. You want to swing all the way to let's go straight to computers that do not fight, that don't know what they're watching, that they're just solely numbers. Okay, if we're going to do that, give me this example here, Henry. Who's winning the fight when, let's say, I'm throwing 15 jabs, pop, 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 pop. I might be landing them because I'm faster. I'm throwing pop, 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 fast jabs, and you hit me with one right hand that sits me on my butt. Who's winning the fight? Computer said I just landed 10 jabs. Yeah, this guy hit me with one shot that sat you down, or rocked you, maybe didn't sit you down. So listen, we can't say, "Oh, let's go straight to AI, go straight to computers."
But this is how you program it, dude. Like, a fight is based on not volume but damage. You could just,
So how's the computer going to assess your damage? It's going to be reading your face the whole time?
Dude, it has the ability to, like I said before, to look at the impact. Computers are only getting smarter. Kamaru, we have to go this route.
I get that.
Kamaru, we have to be, because you know why? Because a human is biased. That's why. That's another thing that we have to think about too, bro.
That's why I feel
like I've lost some fucking fights where maybe I was just disliked, dude. Honestly, man, I had some close ones where I was just like, yeah, dude, how the fuck did I lose that fifth? How the hell did anyways, dude?
Listen, That's
A
why
lot
it's
of
called
people,
judging.
a lot of
I've
people.
been on the shit end.
But it's the same.
I've been on
it's
the
the
shit
same
end
reason
of
why I'm
two
telling
of
you
those
this,
as well.
Kamaru. We're gonna eventually gonna have to. I think the whole world of sports is gonna be judged through AI, and I would like to see it sooner rather than later. And like I said, dude, Dana White was actually really smart on saying that because it's true, bro. Like now, I'm working with a tech company. I'm working with
We
Bruno,
could agree to
my
disagree.
boy. Bruno Nicoletti.
I think so. If I see the face, but Henry, listen, we could agree to disagree. I don't think a computer can determine how hurt someone is on the fight when the computer doesn't actually see them through human eyes. Unless you put an impact chip or something type of something on someone where you see their brain is rocked after getting hit with a shot, I don't think we could equate that. So, with that being said, eventually you're right. I think eventually that's the way the world is. We are going to we're going to move towards that a computer age and where AI is going to control a lot of things. But right now, I think that's definitely wrong. There's a lot of
I think
a long way to go.
Yeah, no, but I think that AI would actually explain. They would give an explanation on why you won the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like they would be able to do a breakdown. Remember, dude, what a computer
Yeah, it would
has.
tell you. It would tell you. Look at the numbers. You landed 127 strikes, and this guy landed 30 strikes.
It's gonna have the ability to do that, bro. Heat waves. Like, there's a lot of shit that, dude. I'm just saying the future, bro. But I would have my trust in that shit. I would have my trust in AI more than I would in fucking and some old boxing dudes that don't know what a kick is or a knee or an elbow. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
that's
100%.
Henry, that's what I'm saying. That's why we train former fighters on the judging. That's it. I don't think we swing all the way to the other side and say.
Yeah, but anyways, Kush, we could agree to disagree, man. I mean, overall, bro, the UFC, this UFC fight card, I'll be honest with you, it's probably been the worst card of the year, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I felt like
that was a little harsh.
I felt like there was a lot of snooze fest. I mean, there's some good fights, but the UFC has always
Umar versus Umar versus who?
Yeah, Bautista.
I like how you're saying his name now.
No, but listen. Even when we go back to that fight, I felt like Umar wrestled too much, and you're gonna have to agree with me. He held too much. You know what I'm saying? I felt like if I was Umar, I would have kept it on my feet a little bit more, get the better of the exchanges. You know what I mean? It was a competitive fight, but it wasn't necessarily what we're accustomed to seeing from Umar nor Bautista. Umar controlled him, bro. It was a great fight. It was a good fight. But was it the most entertaining, dude? That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Fuck, dude. I'm a big fan of Umar Nurmagomedov. You know, I'm a big fan.
I think it was.
And he even said, I underestimated this dude, but he wrestled a lot more than what he should have. And you can tell, dude, that dude, when he wrestles a lot, man, there's fatigue in there, man. You were there, Kamaru, so you're able to see a little bit.
We know that. You know that. I know that. Of course we know there's fatigue. But Umar did this. Listen, this was, you broke an 18-0. Was it 18-0 streak?
No.
By losing that last one? You broke that streak. So, listen, he needed to get this monkey off his back. You know that. When you lose, it's like, yo, I got that funk on me. I got that thing on me. I got to get this funk out. And you don't know how to get it off. So, my man, listen, first and foremost, big shout out to Umar Nurmagomedov for staying poised, staying disciplined all through the week, staying confident in himself and his abilities, going in there, because it's big shadows that you have to fill here, because you were the first one to drop one. You can't go in there and drop two, be the first one to drop two in a row. My man came up, he rose to the occasion, and he fought a game Bautista. Listen, I've been telling y'all, put some respect on this young man's name. Bautista came to thump. You seen him. He was bobbing in there. He wanted to mix it up. He was in there doing his thing. But unfortunately, Umar went to the wrestling early in the first, second. He did that. And I thought it was great game planning. But you saw that in the third round, Umar started standing with dude. Umar started training, and he was getting better of the exchanges. Bautista was coming. I think he knew he was behind. And so he was kind of putting himself in dangerous position, as he should, because he was trying to make something happen. But Umar stayed composed, and he was able to get that win. That was a great fight. I thought one of the best fights on the card, if not the best. I think there was a prelim fight that was really, really impressive. But this was
but
really,
overall,
really
dude, I think with this fight with Umar and Bautista, yeah, bro, I think there's nobody.
I would have liked to see 5. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, I would like to see him fight Merab Dvalishvili, and I would like to see Davison Figueiredo versus the Canadian Ariel Helwani. What's his name?
Wait. Davison versus
the dude
that not a fight.
Versus the dude that beat Cheetah. What the hell's his name?
Ayman Zahabi. Put some respect on my man's name.
My bad, Ayman. My
yes,
bad. And Ayman, I think that's the fight to make with Figgy, because Figgy's got to get back in there. And I think, yeah, dude, there's nothing. Umar needs to fight Merab Dvalishvili, even with that even it was a 30-27, but still, bro, he's the next best thing to challenge for that. And I don't think he should have the right to fight anybody else. If Sean O'Malley got a rematch right off the back, like, I feel like Umar with this win deserves it too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think
am I wrong, Kush? Am I wrong?
Okay, if we're gonna do that, first and foremost, I think because Umar wants to get back in there right away. Unfortunately, Merab is booked. So, if he was to fight Merab next, what would be Umar's game plan for the second fight? How would he change things up to potentially ensure a win?
I got you. This is what Umar would have to do: stay in the center and fight him there. That's it. Defend, but stay in the center. Don't get backed up,
it's
dude.
A lot harder.
Merab is a momentum, sure, but he has to. Dude. Typically Merab always kind of loses the first round. He lost it with me. He lost it with him. He lost it with Corey. He's you know what I'm saying? But take your chances there. Take your chances. Stay in the center. Don't back up. There's another thing that I will say about Merab. Merab's a pressure fighter, but he's a movement and a pressure fighter. So the more that he's able to have the movement going forward, the more that he's able to set up everything that he wants to get. So I feel like if you do change the movements either laterally, if you watch that first round with me, you'll see a little bit of what I was doing until I got tired, bro. Until that growing. Anyways, and that's the way. You stay in the center and you fight the dude. But if you go backwards and you allow him to kind of start getting that rhythm going of forward pressure because he's offensive when he shoots, it's I think those are his best chances. And I do feel like he doesn't. I would just work on my takedown defense. That's it, and stay in the center, bring the fight.
Well, I mean, I thought they looked great. I thought it was definitely the fight of the night. So
who did get fight of the night?
Well, maybe not fight of the night, but there were some good fights. There was a couple of good fights on the other card. I think what's his name? Liskarov and Park was a damn good fight. Park, the what is it? The Iron Turtle.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention, Kamaru, but dude, I don't know, man. I saw a little bit different this fight card. I didn't think it was that exciting. Again, for me, outside looking in, but what about that? What about that Australian kid, bro? That's 2 knockouts in a row. Salkilld. He's the one that knocked out Nasrat.
Hakparas. Yes, I mean that was probably one of the most. Obviously, me being kicked in the head was. The kick heard around the world. Actually, I would say obviously.
Yeah, that right there, bro. That might be knockout of the year, dude.
It might be. I think it probably was because let's see this. I would say head kick finish. I would say Ronda Rousey, Holly Holmes, Ronda Rousey. I would say it was tied up there with me being kicked in the head. But this one was. Whew. This one was, and we just saw the motion. It was like no movement. It was shot to the head. Game over.
Threw it, bro.
Jesus.
He just caught him.
And my man was right out here, bro, for a while.
Really? So you're
Yeah,
there,
my
bro?
man was out for a while,
Yeah,
and he was
shaking.
shaking. It was very. I mean, it was. Oh man,
Yeah.
that replay is. This is why this sport is the most violent, but it's also why you can't take your eyes away. You can't turn away. Like how many times have people seen this knockout now? It was. I mean, first and foremost, we hope Nasrat is okay. Oof,
Yeah.
you know, that's a tough one. We hope he's okay. Second of all, shout out to that Australian kid. I mean, relatively
You
still
gotta go
new in
back
the
real quick. Look
UFC.
at this. I gotta say something, bro. Like first you get the if we go back real quick, like I want you to see this real quick tomorrow. Because I've been taking acting classes, but you can tell when something's real and then it's embellished. Go back to DC and their reaction. Let me show you something a little bit of without learning an acting skill. Kamaru Dean. You think you're the only one about to do Black Panther, bro? About to do the Brown Panther. So boom, that's real. They get surprised. And they're like, oh, we gotta do it for the cameras now. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
You see how it goes from being real to being embellished?
Listen, it was first it was an impressive knockout as a fight fan, but at the same time, we hope Nasrat is okay because he was out for a while, and I know when you were kicked in the head like that, it takes a while to kind of start to come back. And
what would you do tomorrow? Like,
tough one.
if you could go back to, do you think you came back too early with Leon, dude? And then what would you tell Nasrat after a knockout like that?
Yes, I came back. I wouldn't say too early. I think is whenever something like that happens, everyone goes, oh man, you got to take time off. You got to just relax. Don't do anything. And the doctor told me that's ludicrous. You don't just sit and not really. If you're used to hitting that red zone, you're used to working every day. That's good for your body. Your body has to feel those. You have to feel it. I'm, of course, not coming here and take head injuries or get hit in the head or anything like that. But you don't stop working out. You don't stop not getting on the bike. You don't stop sweating. You don't stop not doing all these things. You can keep doing some things, but you are not sparring.
So what you're saying is just get back on the horse?
No, I'm not saying just get back on the horse. Take some time. Take a week, couple of weeks. Take a couple of weeks off. But at the same time, you got to get on the bike. You still got to sweat. You're an athlete. Your body's used to working and burning calories. You got to do that. You can't just sit at home and go, oh man, I'm going to take 2 months off.
Balls is hot.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. But listen, it's a tough one. I mean, if you've never been, dropped with the head kick, it's I don't even know how to word it, man. We got blasted with the kicks and went to sleep. The first time I've ever went to sleep. And we all know what happened. It is what it is. But it was an impressive. I think the undercard was really, really good. Nasrat, that fight happened. Also, a fight that I potentially thought was potentially fight of the night here also as well. The Klein fight was a really good fight. Rebecki and Klein. Yes, Rebecki and Klein. These boys, Klein was putting it on him for the first 2 rounds. But Rebecki stayed on him, got the takedown in the third, and was really putting it on him. And then, obviously, in the end, we saw that Klein's, I think something happened to his ankle, kind of rolled it, or it might have sprained or might have broke it. Who knows? But it was a really, really good fight. The card was. I don't agree with you, Henry. I don't think this was the worst card of the year. I don't agree with you.
All right, let's go pick it.
What's the
worst card of the year?
All right. Well, anyways, we saw towards the end.
You see, at least I give it an answer tomorrow. You can't just
wait. You said what? What was the question?
No, hold on. No, we're recording, bro. At least I'm giving you an answer. At least I'm saying this is the worst card that I've seen. You're not even saying anything, so I don't feel like you have any say if you can't name a weaker card.
I agree with you. No, I'm. It's not the worst card I've seen. There was a card. There was a couple of cards this year that I was like, I don't remember, bro. There's fights every week. I don't remember, but there definitely was a card this year where I was like, who's that guy? What happened? What decision? What? There definitely was a card this year where I was like, yeah, I don't know. So I wouldn't say this one was the worst. We at least got a few good fights out of this card. So I won't say that. But moving on, you saw that Umar did take a picture with that belt. Do you think that's bad juju? Or you think that's just, basically manifestation and foreshadowing of what's to come?
No, it's good, bro. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Kamaru. I never really liked it, bro. For me, personally, but this is an individual choice, bro. I like it personally for him. You know what I'm saying? This puts more pressure on Umar, and that's a good thing. Because if he felt pressure last time fighting for the title and then now losing and then not wanting to go 0-2 against Merab, like him just even taking this picture is beautiful, man. I love it, bro. I love it from him because it's showing confidence. It's gonna add more pressure to him to when he knows that he's in that fight. It's like, hey, I truly do believe in this. This is a reminder of Umar, and I'm excited to see that fight between him and Merab.
Listen, I'm a big advocate. I'm a big person of self-manifestation. I'm a believer in that. A lot of the things that I've done in my life, a lot of the incredible things that it was only real to myself in my head until I showed it to the rest of the world. So I'm a believer in that. And I also did this. I took a picture with this belt. I remember the first time Rashad let me see his belt, and I saw it and I took a picture of it. Not with me, it on me, but I took a picture of it and looked at this and said, man, one day I will get this. And then I do remember when I took a picture with the belt, it was in Houston. No, actually, it wasn't in Houston. I took a picture with the belt in Vegas. I believe Kelvin Gastelum was in the picture. Ali Abdelaziz was in the picture. Ray Sefo was in the picture. And I said, I will get this. And that just put that extra chip on my shoulder that this is where I'm going and I'm going to get it. And so, yeah, I like it for him. I like it. Anyways, Henry, I'm not going to say it was an incredible card because I know how you feel about it, my man. So I'm going to say it was a good card and unfortunate ending.
Okay card.
But before we go.
Can you at least say okay, Kamaru? Okay card?
Okay. It was an okay card, of course. The heavyweight title championship on the line in the sold-out arena. A lot of UK fans. It was an okay card and definitely not the result they wanted in the end. All right? You happy now? So we move on. Before we all right, Henry. So yeah, before we go, let's get into the question from a casual this week. I believe we have two of them. Quickly, one is it worth it for a UFC fighter to fight with the UFC? I'm guessing that means get into a situation, back and forth contract negotiation kind of situation with the UFC. And then two, is it a smart idea for the UFC to fast track athletes like Bo Nickel even after a TKO loss? You want my opinion, Henry, or you want to go first?
Go for it, Kush. If you feel like you got it, let me know.
Well, for me, is it worth it for a UFC fighter to fight with the UFC? Listen, Henry, I've been on both ends of this. I've been on the side where I did have problems with contracts negotiation at one point. And at one point, you have to realize as a fighter that you're in the big leagues. You're in Premier League here. You're in the NFL. Are you willing to go to the CFL, the XFL to play? Or are you willing to do what it takes to play in the NFL? There's a reason you're in the NFL. It's the biggest league. It's the biggest names. It's the harder fights. You are the world champion when you are in the NFL or Premier League. And so being in the UFC, it's the only show in town at the A+ level. Don't get me wrong, there's some A+ fighters in other promotions, but as far as promotions go, as far as the exposure, as far as all of that, and the notoriety, yes, you're in the Premier League, and this is the Premier League. So it's not worth it. I'm not saying don't speak up for yourself. I'm not saying don't ask for what you feel you have earned, but don't come from a place of saying, I deserve. I don't even like that word. It's, I feel that I've earned this, so let's negotiate on it. But you also have to know I'm negotiating against the judge, the jury.
Yeah.
You have to know that. And by knowing that, you can make a better inclined decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if there's one thing that that Daniel Cormier has done very, very well, and I'll give him credit for this one, even though it was like, hey man, what's up? Hey, you like that? You like that? He as a double champ, he's always kept that relationship with the UFC. And I feel like that's one area where I feel like I could have done a better job, and particularly this being my last fight. It's not worth it to fight with them. It's not worth it to even pick on Uncle Dana, dude, because I think I did that quite a bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just trolling, bro, and I was just liking to troll everybody. But all that plays a big weight in your career. So it's not worth it. McGregor's tried, Jones has tried, Izzy has even tried, I've tried, everybody has tried, and they will. It's not up to you. It's that old generation to kind of take that upon them. So, and plus, dude, at the end of the day, dude, it is their business. The UFC, Dana White, they have worked really, really hard to taking this sport from where it was at and where it's at now. You know what I'm saying? I think as an entrepreneur, bro, I get that. I understand that. You know, I think fighters and people will not always be happy with pay, and that's okay, bro. But this is why you become your own boss. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be life after all this whole fight game. So that's the way that I see it. So I respect my boss. Dana, I respect the shit out of you, Hunter, Sean Shelby, everybody that you guys put together. I love the whole staff, and there's a reason why you guys are at on where you guys are at. For the next question, it'd be, is fast tracking fighters into the UFC a smart idea? And particularly, we think of a guy like Bo Nickel. A little bit, man. I felt like RDR was a little bit too much for him. Looking back at it now, and I still feel like, dude, we're still in legacy, Kamaru. We weren't even fighting the UFC at the level where Bo Nickel is right now. So you know what I'm saying? So you have to have mercy on people that have a loss, but yet losing to some of the best guys in the world. It depends on all that, but yeah, man, I think it's always better to scale than to push anybody unless you're a heavyweight or in the heavier weight divisions, because just based on power, man, take those chances.
Well, for me, Henry, I think listen, it depends on the individual. It depends on the individual. Let's be honest. Bo Nickel came in with putting people away impressively. He did that. And of course, coming in as a 3-time national champion, I believe, and doing all these great things in collegiate wrestling, which he got a lot of traction for in this age that we're in, where you get a lot of exposure with social media and whatnot. Hey, he was doing the best he could with where he was placed. And so I take nothing away from that. For the UFC, if I put this guy in front of you and you go out there and dispose of him in 2 minutes, okay. Me fast track, and the fans and the people in the crowd, and they loved it. Oh, let me make you a little farther. And I compare that with myself. I came in, I was dominating guys, beating guys 30-26, 30-20, beating guys up. But I was taking them down, was controlling them. I was landing ground and pound. I was doing wasn't the most fan-friendly favorites or whatnot style for them. But it was a gift and a curse. Yeah, it was a bit of a curse because I didn't feel like I was getting that notoriety and that respect and that push early on. But it was a gift because it gave me the time to really work on every aspect of the game, every aspect of the sport. Fast tracking a guy like Bo Nickel with a guy like RDR. Of course, this when you realize when you get to the top, hey, RDR is not going to care about all the notoriety or all this stuff that you get. It doesn't matter. And so that's why the company, and listen, we're still talking about Bo Nickel. So that's part of it. We know that this is an entertainment company. The UFC wants to put in the biggest names on that pay-per-view card. So by them wanting to put the biggest names on that pay-per-view card, that's why you see a guy like, that's why you see a Bo Nickel placed above really good fighters like Beneil Dariush, Benoit Saint-Denis, Roman Kopylov, and Gregory Robocop Rodriguez. This is why you see that. Because, listen, we're sitting here talking about Bo Nickel. So that tells you why, this being an entertainment company, Bo Nickel has done his job at being that entertainer that we are sitting here talking about. And that's why. he's getting another shot on the pay-per-view. Now, if he drops this one, then you can say whatever you want to say as, oh, this is too much. UFC's pushing this and pushing that. So, hey, it is what it is. Bo Nickel's a friend of the show. We like Bo Nickel. He's a fellow wrestler. We love that as well. So, hopefully he's done his homework and Bo Nickel gets in there and he does a good job. I mean, this is a good opponent for Bo Nickel. It's a really good opponent for him. So we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah.
Right?
No, of course.
I mean, am I right?
No, that's a sad. No, well, Kush, overall, man, thanks, my man. You're the man, but I got to roll. It's beautiful.
All right, Sunday. My dog. I feel you, man. It's a great weekend. We're looking forward to the next fights and the next fights and the next weekend, Henry. But I'm gonna let you go ahead and enjoy your Sunday with your boo thing. But as always, you know who I be. The Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman.
Henry Cejudo, a.k.a. Triple C.
And we are out.